People are in the Independence Day mood, right? In the last session, we have covered all the procedure which are for plotting the graph and doing a COVID or correlation, right? Let's start something new today. Yes. Okay, I do see people are still joining in. Nope. So now every procedure is unique in itself. So you can think of that they do not have relationship with the previous session, right? This step, yes, they were related to each other. So we have covered till ANOVA. Okay. So let's wait for 2 more minutes and then we can see if people who are regular till last session can join the session, right? So just to give you an idea, Hitesh, that we have covered the statistical procedures and the procedure which you can use to plot graphs in the last session. And I hope you people are reading the book which I have shared with you. Yes, Hitesh. Okay, so we can start because if they join in late, they can probably be learning the next procedure if they miss one procedure, right? Yes, Hitesh, you can check in the video. If you have any question, then you can ask me later on. So the next thing which I am going to cover is that the next topic is very interesting topic and very important topic. And this topic is very close to my heart because this makes me popular in my organization, right? So you can understand my inclination toward this topic. So whenever you run any procedure, you see an output in your this output window, right? And at the same point of time, let me show you some output, right? So that you have an idea what I'm talking about. And you have output in this result viewer, right? So these are two different outputs. So this is a default SAS output which we get in this window, and this is my HTML output, right? However, SAS has a capability to give output in various formats, and it has the capability to store that output in a particular location. So, for example, if you want to, you have prepared a report, and the output of that report you want to share with someone who is sitting in US, and he doesn't want to check his or her email or any other location, so you can directly paste or you can share this output into his or her folder directly. And this particular functionality is known as output delivery system, known as ODS. So we have data for name, color, day, and weight, right? In the last session, we have covered the proc means, right? So whenever you run a proc means with by command, it will give you the different output for every other occurrence for color. Like this, right? Now, if your one consumer want an output of the red and the another consumer want an output for yellow only. So you can split your output and can share this output into two different locations and into two different formats. All right, so let me repeat myself. The output which you have received, right? You can pick up a particular portion of that output, right? Can convert a particular portion into different format, this into a different format, and can store into a different location, this into a different location, right? So which mean we have a output delivery system, means the output which we have generated, we have full-fledged system for this. All right, and the beginning for this is understanding the output, right? So you can export or you can write this output into particular location, but for that you first should know what is the name of this particular object, right? You should know what is the name of this particular object, right? So that you can take a reference for this, and then you can convert this into a format, or you can convert that, you can share this into a different location, right? For that we use one command that is known as trace, ODS trace on, which means we want to trace the output of this particular procedure. And once we have this trace on, we need to write a command for switching this off. So let me run this. Okay. Now the output which you have received, you will get the address for this output in the log, right? So the first graph which you have seen, this is the description of that particular graph, and this is the description of second graph which you have seen on the screen, right? So either you can, so what you need to select from here, it is a path which you require. Path, if you know the path, then you can direct this particular object to a different location. So in our case, let's say I want this second one. The mean by copy this, and the name of first object is any question till now? Okay, now I'm going to write a procedure for sending this output, right, to this location. So first let me check this location if something is stored over there by this name. No, okay. Probably we can use this location. So now the ask is I need to save the output only for red category, right, into HTML format, right? So this is the requirement, and the requirement for yellow, I think we have red and yellow category, right? Red and yellow, and for yellow we need to store that into PDF format into the same location, right? So for that, the procedure would for the program would be ODS. Now the output or the format in which you want your output, HTML. Now the third keyword which you will be using either body or file name, which means the location for this particular output. The folder address, right, or the address for a physical location, followed by the name of the file. This is user defined name, and the most important thing, the extension of that particular file. The same procedure, right? This is a heading, so nothing to do with the program. ODS select this. These are the keywords which you need to use, and the name of the object. So you copy this, you paste this, run, right? So the only thing which you need to remember, which is different from previous examples, is ODS HTML and body. The procedure will remain same, and the ODS select. So which output you want to select? So we have selected the first output, run, and whenever we open a HTML, we always close that particular output, and this is how we can run this. All right. Now, in this particular location, I should have a file by name of red into HTML format. I don't have. Let me see. error message over here. Address thing, let me change the address. Do you see this red file? And it contains the output which were there. Any question on this? Did you find this an interesting procedure? Okay, so similarly, you can create a different output, right, for the color yellow. Sorry. And we can use a different format, which is PDF. PDF. So if I have selected PDF over here, I can use PDF over here, right? It all depends what I have selected over here. So I have opened the PDF and I have to close the PDF. So you see a PDF by name of yellow has been created. Now it has opened. Quickly try this. All right. You can use a keyword by name of style with this, right? So let me create another file for you. And we are going to use the same data which we are using till now. So before running this, I should know what is the selection I require, right? So I know from proc univariate, there are 5 different output I receive for proc univariate. So I have selected one of them. And if you want to see it again, you can use the same procedure of ODS, trace on, then your procedure, right? And then ODS, trace, close. And from here, you need to remove this because you are not sure about this address. So you run this, and you will on and off. Sorry. Next. Okay. So do you see this message? Wanting no output destination active. So what happened? While I was working on this, I have run this ODS listing close, right? Which means this output has been also closed. So what I need to do before this, I need to write ODS listing, right? So I should get an output first, then only I will be able to get their address. So now in place of this path, I can directly use their name if they are unique, right? So I can directly use this name. Let's say I use the basic measures, right? Oh, I have already selected the basic measure. So if I want to send my output into PDF, right, into this location, and I want only basic measures from proc univariate, I can do this, right? So this output is generated in the PDF format, right? And I can find this into test2 in the same location, right? So this is how you can create different output and send them to different location. Any question till now? Okay, I take the silence as no question. So, no. So listing is used. So when you use ODS PDF close, so your all output became closed. You just want to activate one so that the next command which you will run, you should be able to run this. Otherwise, what will happen? You will see this count of error message which we have seen previously, right? Like this. No output destination active, right? We need at least one destination which should be active. Otherwise, no output will be generated. So, so we have not done anything for this. This is by default. This particular procedure give you the output. So if you run this without anything, right? Let me show you. This is a procedure which I've covered in the last session, so that's the reason you are not aware what is this procedure all about. So when you run this procedure, right? Let me clear this thing as well. This gives you 5 different output: movement, basic measure of location, cache for location, quantile, extreme observation. And your proc print just generate one out object, right? Proc print, that's it. This will have only one out, right? All right. So I have used a keyword while I was, writing this procedure where style is equal to Daisy. And what does that mean? Okay. This means that it has some uh, styles which you can utilize to make your output a little fancy. And how do you get to know all this? You need to write proc template list styles and run. So these are the styles. This is the one I have used. Okay. Let's use one of the. So let's use one of the style. Let's say ocean. And let's make it PDF 3. Do you see? Everything has changed, the background color, the font for the heading. So these are the different styles which you can leverage to make your output more attractive, more beautiful. All right. Apart from this, this is very uh, good procedure, and with the help of different keyword, you can change even the small things in the input. So let me show you one output. This proc tablet we all know, right? Proc tablet, right? Which I think I covered in the last session or last to last session. I'm not sure. So this procedure has been used to tabulate your data, which means to design your output into a tabular format as per your requirement. So let me show you the output of this. So this is the output of proc tabulate, right? That you have summarized your SAS help.class data, and you have an average for age and average for weight. Now, if you want to send this output to a particular location, right? What you require is name, right? So what you can do, First, you need to capture its name, so you can use ODS trace on and ODS trace off. On. Okay. So here you see the table 1 has been generated. Right. I can save this to this particular folder. And I'm changing its name to about 1 because this name already exists. And I can use another for this which is as well. I think there seems to be an issue with the address. So is HTML. So do you see in the new format, this has changed, right? And it should have a tab out 1. Now, the next thing which I'm going to show you, you can get this output into rich text format, right? Which your Word format, right? And you can change or you can customize your output for every keyword in that particular output, right? So, for example, if you want to give title, you can make it color. You can select the color, 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 the height. Let me show you this. And let me show you the program. What we did, we have customized the output like this. Title color, black. We have used black color for this keyword. We have used gray color for this keyword. We have used light gray for this keyword. So this is how we have given the title, right? Second title, we have used height 12 point small, height 0.25 is medium, height 1 centimeter large. Then we have title 3, which is justify towards left, justify center, justify right. So this is how you can customize your output within ODS, right? That's the flexibility you have with this procedure. So I have shown you three different output. One is your HTML, the other one is PDF, the third one is your RTF. Any question on any of these three outputs? A little more on this style, right? So I have created my own format, and the value for this is low till 50 is red, 50 to 85 yellow, 85 is green. Any name which I have selected, right? I have used this particular format on my SAS help.class data, where I want variable name, height, and variable weight. But on this variable weight, I am using my own style, which is, it should have a foreground which is in compliance with this format. Okay, let me open the HTML output. Right? Do you see the foreground? Let me make it background so that will be more visible. So this is how you can customize your styles as well. So the format you have created for red color, red, yellow, and green, right? I think I should. Oh, everything is yellow. Nothing is falling in red or green, right? So the lowest rate we have 50.5. So let me tweak it a little bit. Let's make it 60. And let's make it 60 to 90. Let's make it 70 to 90. So this is how you can change your output, right? You can insert a background image into your output, right? I am not sure I have this picture in my pictures library. Oh, we have this. Previous one was much better, right? I can use tulips. I think it is not picking up this picture. So what we can do, okay, it is picking up this portion, right, from the picture. So that is the reason we are unable to see this. This is a completely orange. That's why we are able to see its color. Do you see? Also, this portion, only one small portion of it. It is applying this on the data. Right. So with this, uh, we are done with your BSS, right? The next topic which we am going to start is from advanced as per the SAS Institute, right? So there are two topics which falls under your advanced category, and those two topics are your proc SQL, right, or SQL, and the second one is your macros, right? So I can start any of the topic, right? But macro does have one command for SQL, so that is the reason I picked the macro later. However, in general, SAS pick the macro first, then SQL later on, right? So again, uh, as per my understanding, I'm picking it first, right? So let's begin your journey for advanced SAS, and the procedure which we are talking about is SQL. So how many of you have ever worked on SQL? Anyone who have ever worked on SQL? Yes, no, maybe, or know little bit about it? Okay. Oh, so there are three things which a data analyst should know from the programming perspective or from tools perspective. One is Excel. The second one is your SQL. These are just like bread and butters, right? That without that you cannot enter into this industry, right? And the third thing is any programming language. Any means either you can learn R, Python, or SAS. Right? These are top three. But apart from that, if there are any other language that would also serve. But these three is the mostly preferred. So three things are required. I am again saying Excel, SQL. These two are must-have skill that when you say that you are applying for any data analyst role, you should know about these two things, right? And the third thing which we cover is we cover all the top three languages like SAS, R, and Python, right? So that you can do your work or you can appear in any of the interview, right? So if company is looking for SAS and SAS language, you know the SAS. If they are looking for Python, you know the Python. If they are looking for R, then you know R, right? So that is the reason. Now SQL is very simple, right? The only difference using SQL over here and using SQL Server, right? So similar like your SAS, we have a different IDE for SQL. So depending on the your organization setup, you may have a different IDE, but most popular is SSMS SQL Server Management Studio, right? So the command which you are going to write here, you can write the same command over there. The only difference is that we use proc SQL and quit statement for using any SQL statement. So this one is a SQL statement, and these are being used in SAS with the help of these two keywords, right? Another thing you will find that the proc SQL and this statement after this proc SQL, after this statement, we use quit, not run. I told you in the beginning that there is one procedure in which we use run, quit in place of run, right? Between proc SQL and quit, for one statement you require only one semicolon, right? And your one statement could be n number of lines. So generally you will be only using three semicolons. Generally you will be using three semicolons in proc SQL commands. All right. SQL stands for structured query language, right? So we query our data, which means we fetch information from different sources. So currently I am fetching a data from this database, from this table, and I'm saying select star means everything from this particular object, right? And once you write this, it will be your similar to your proc print without observation, right? Easy. So this is the syntax. If you want to select or you want to read some data, you use select star from, right? Between the select and from, you can write your variables or your different expression, different statements for format, statement keyword for format, keyword for new data creation, new column creation. All right. So in the next command, I am writing a SQL statement for selecting only name, age, and weight from this object. Any question on this? Oops. All right. Now, so you know two keywords, select and from. So the third keyword which I'm going to use over here is where, right? So we use where after our dataset name, right? So select this from this object where age is greater than equals to 13. And once you submit this command, you will get the output which is where age is greater than 13. Now what you can do in place of age, guys, give me a second. Let me answer this call. Hello. Nice. So you will get an output like this. Now, in place of this, you can also use, so you know the three keywords, select, from, and where, right? You can create a new column with aggregation, and you can format that column in the same place like this. So you have queried age and you have queried total. Now, do you see the total is repeating itself? And you must be thinking that it should give you age-wise sum, right? So always remember, this is a query language. Whatever you will ask, you will get the written age. It has written the age. Now you ask it to written sum of weight column. It has written you the weight column, and as we use as keyword to rename it, right? Or give it an alias name. So we have used as total, and format, we are formatting it with this format $8.2. So it has written dollar it is the sum of that particular column. However, in order to make it a complete table, it has to repeat itself because this output will be 1. And you must be thinking that it should give you a summarized view like the sum for age group 12, it should give you a different sum of weight. For age group 13, it should give you different sum of weight, right? So in that case, you can do this, but for that you need to use a different keyword, and that different keyword is known as group by. Right? So you write select your variable, your aggregate function, and then this is your some sort of formatting from class. Now group by age. If I run this, this will give you the output which you were thinking. Any question on this? Any question up to here? Okay. Now I'm using another data, which is baseball. I selected league, division, and sum of number of hits. I'm selected group by on the basis of league and division. First, it has grouped your data on the basis of league. Second, it has grouped the data on the division. So within America, you have East-West. Within nation, you have East-West. And you can change it to, you can change the order. You can use descending. Sorry, my bad. For that, you need to use another keyword, right? So you cannot change the order from here. You need to use the, if you want to change the order, the third command, which is known as order by. Order by, right? So now in place west, east, west, it has become west to east. And descending means in the descending order, right? And we write this keyword after the variable name. So now you know how many keywords? Select, from, where, group by, order by. Okay, so I will appreciate if you can practice this at your end and you can ask any question. So give you 2 minutes time. And if you're already done, then do let me know. Please let me know once you're done. All right, so order by Hitesh works like a sorting. So you order your or sort your data by these variables, right? Let me give another example of order by. Okay, let me write an order by command over here. Proc SQL select dot class and quit, right? If you run this, you will get the output in the manner it was created. Now, if you write order by age, right? Your data will be sorted as per the age. Now, if you write a keyword like descending, it will change the order of the sorting. No, group by won't give you this output, right? Group by, if you are not using any aggregate function over here, like sum, count, average, right? By default, your group by will become order by. In the second case, the group by groups your data on the basis of your variable and aggregate the output. Give the aggregation of the for the variable for which you are using aggregate function. Let me run this for you. So without order by, you will get this output, right? East west. Now, what I did, I have used order by. Now I want to change it to change the order of this division in my output. So in place of east west, now this is sorted from west to east, from descending order. All right. So we have covered how many keywords? Select, from, group by, order by, and where. The last keyword in this series is having. So your having and where are two conditional statement, conditional keyword, but where we use on existing data and having we use with the group by only. Right? Let me show you an example, then you will probably have an understanding what is the difference between that. So this is your output. Now if you want an output for age group which is greater than 11 or greater than 12, then you will be using where command. But if you're looking for something like that, okay, you want output for data which has 250 more than $250, then you will be using having. So here you cannot use where total is greater than equals to, let's say, 300. This will throw you an error, right? For to apply a condition on a group by data, you need to use having. This output is for the total which is greater than $300. However, you can use where statement only for this variable because this is not part of group by statement. So this is an existing data, right? And if you want to apply a conditional filtering, then you will be using having on aggregated column. So if the data is already existing, you can use where like this. Where age is, let me check what are the there. Let's say greater. So you see where group by having. And the last keyword which is left, so let me use that one also. Order by age descending, right? So in one command, we have used all the keywords which we have learned so far. Okay, complete this at your end. Let me know once you are done with this. What about others? Okay. Okay. So let's move on to next keywords, which is create table. So with this, so till now, whatever you have done, right, that were giving you output directly in your output window. Now, if you want to create a data out of your query, you can use keyword create table and the table name which you want to create and as. So these three keywords are required to create a table. Uh, create table, the table name and as, right? Let me know that there is nothing in my work library as of now. Oh, it is there. Let me clean this. So you see, uh, let me close this. This works like your data step, and this works like your proc print step, right? Similarly, you can write your full command and you can store it like this. I hope you have completed this now. Let me know once you're done. All right. So let me introduce a couple of new keywords which you require in your day-to-day operations. So if you write delete star, so there is a delete keyword by which you can delete the observation from a particular table. Right? So for example, if you write delete star from test, so this will delete entire table, the data from the entire table, not the table. So let me write it delete star from test, right? And when you open test, zero observation, right? Let me run it one more time for you. So I have created that test table. It was open, that's right. Okay. Right, you have data. The moment you run this command, delete star from test, this will be an empty table. So use very cautiously. So what generally we do, we put some restriction of usage of these commands, right? So we give access to people without delete command. So only one person in the have this access. So people who are managing your database or the admins, they can only use this command, right? Now, if you want delete a particular portion, right? Okay, I think I this table is not existing. So let me just let me create a table. Give me a second. Create table. Right now, you can do selective deletion and delete star from this particular table where the gender is equal to female. Right. The moment you run this and you run this command, nothing will be an output. It is open. Let me check. Give me a second. No rover deleted. Why? Okay. So it has already been deleted. So only selected row has been deleted with the where condition, with the help of where condition. Any question on this? Conditional delete. Okay, so let me move on to the next thing. The option drop. Drop will, delete your table, not the data, delete your table. So let me show you how. So do you see that tab out table over here? So if I use keyword drop table tab out, this will drop the table. And this cannot be recovered, right? So use very cautiously, delete and drop. So you can do a lot of calculation, right? You can do all kind of mathematics in the same place where you are selecting your column, right? So you have done the sum, weight, your height, and age to this as new column. So right, rather writing a new statement, you can do this within these two after the comma and the from. Or if there are any other column, you can probably uh, select the next column as well, right? Now the thing which you see over here, it is not giving the output as you are looking, right? Select each this. So your age should be grouped by with the age. No, what your warning? A group by clause has been transformed into order clause because neither the select clause nor the offer having clause of related table definition reference. Okay. Let me remove this for a second. Let me write it again. Proc SQL select age, comma sum of HI height, comma weight. As new call from as tag of class group by age and quit. Right? So do you see that if I'm using two different column, right? So my operation is not an aggregation of operation like this, right? So the operation is height and weight should be added and this should be the output. So your order by clause will turn out to, sorry, your group by clause will turn out to be an order by, because for every age group you will get a different output. Because this sum is not used for aggregation, this sum is used for adding two different column. I think we have also used third column into age, right? So this is the thing which you need to keep in mind. If your column is not used, right, for aggregation, then warning will be reflected like a group by clause has been transformed into order by clause because neither the select clause nor the optional having clause of the associated table expression is referenced as summary function. So the sum over here is not summarizing your data, right? This sum is not summarizing your data. This is adding two different columns. And the next series of command which you are going to learn is case when, right? So I have written this for the sake of understanding. So it is not like you can write it this way. So if then statement we can write in this manner in SQL. So this is an optional command which means we are creating a table. Now select the name column, the age column, and we are writing case when weight is less than 19, then lean. If you remember, we generally how we write this in normal condition. If weight is less than equals to or LE, then and new call, right, to is equal to the output, right? Let's say lean in that case. Else if, right, new call is equal to fit. Now, if that is statement, if I have to write in with the help of SQL, so how I will write? I will write select the column which I want to be selected. Now, case when weight is less than 90, then lean, else fit. And whenever we use case, we use and as status. So this status would be the column for lean and fit. So let me remove this so that you can get the output directly. Practice this. And is required keyword whenever you use case statement. And as status means you are ending this entire statement for this particular column. Done? Okay. A few important keywords in the commands which I would like you to learn. So count and distinct together gives you a very good idea about the unique data you have in your data table. So, right, so distinct age coupled with count gives you a idea that there are 6 distinct age are there in your data, right? The count without distinct give you the overall count of your data or that particular column which you are writing, right? Or you can directly use star. This will also give the same output, right? And what will the distinct give you? If you use distinct, sorry, if you use, let's say, age, and if you write distinct without count, this will give the output of the distinct category, right? All right, now few more keywords which you should know. Okay, we don't have this table. Let me create one table. Name. This is my table. Now, if I want to enter some data into this table, I will be using a keyword insert into, right? So insert into the table name and the value which I want to insert in this data. All right. Now let's print it. I think I have run it twice. So this has inserted the 20th row over here. And I have a new table, right? Now how to write a data from a different table to this table, right? So you can write insert into new table, right? What do you want to write over here? Select star for this data. So we have inserted this new table data. Let me show you the new table. Okay, now it has changed. Let me just show you the step by step, right? Let me drop this new table. Yeah. So this is my new table where I have only data for female, right? Which is 9 rows. Now what I am doing, I am inserting this data which contains 19 observations into this table. So ideally 19 plus 9, this should be 28. This is how you can insert a data from one table to another table. Right, and if you want to enter data into few columns, right? For example, our new SQL has 3 rows, but I want to enter it into only 2 columns. I can write this insert into, then the name of the column. So do you see the only these 2 data points have been entered? And if you write this, then the selected column will be entered into your data. So you have selected only name and age. Oh, let me change the table name. So only name and age has been added into this new table, right? Any question till now? Yes, ask. No questions? Okay, then that's it for today. The next topic which I'm going to start, we we will use this command in the next session. So practice as much as you can, right? And again, I'm saying stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Thank you.